Hello, my name is Jennifer McCrae, and I'm going to talk to you about a story that's been trending for the last few weeks, rather. It has to do with the R. Kelly situation. I'm naming it "The Strange Case of R. Kelly and His So-Called Sex Victims." Stockholm Syndrome, gaslighting, and conditioning. Okay. So, I'm going to do this from a psychological viewpoint as a master's level master's level psychology professional. And give people another way of looking at this than opposed to the white and black guys laughing and joking about, well, it's her free will. She can go. She can go. I'll be glad to be in that cult. I mean, they say very ignorant things. So if you're not, I've been doing this for like almost 20 years, mental health. So I wanted to get the psychological viewpoint, so the ignorant people would understand what being a victim of a cult is, and what the cult leader, how they operate. So it's been we talked about it sweeping R. Kelly and the social media guys laughing, making fun and everything like that. And they don't understand the seriousness of the girl's situation. All they say is that they're over the age of consent, and even though the parents are frantically trying to contact the girls, I'm gonna call them girls because I'm older. Okay, we're gonna talk about first what's a cult. Okay. Well, actually, we're going to talk about R. Kelly. Okay, R. Kelly is a famous singer, R&B singer. He's been around since the 90s. That's when I've been introduced to him. I like some of his songs, but I'm really not a fan. And there was always something during the interviews and stuff very creepy about him. Well, me being, a psychological professional, being very creepy about him, and something that's not normal about him. So, and that was the fact that he said he was molested when he was a child, and his brother Kerry saying that he was he could not read or write, so he obviously had some type of learning disability. But I can't understand is that they said that R. Kelly had written hundreds of songs for hundreds of big name stars, and I'm wondering, how, if you can't read or write, you could do that. And his brother said he used pictures. So so that's what he did. And that's kind of odd. Okay, so what we're going to talk about, what makes a cult. It's not a religion, it's quasi-religious. It's considered deviant in that the group might add its own central beliefs, but also add bizarre and deviant teachings They're guided by his own charismatic, dynamic teacher, R. Kelly. And his is about sex cults. And he has a history of, well, you know about the sex tape from the 2004 and the girl being 15 and urinating her out. And there are other allegations that were settled, several that were settled with young girls and their families. So he has a history of young girls, and his brother did say he felt inferior. He had to control everything because of the, I guess, the abuse and the abuse, and the fact that he didn't want, he tried to hide not being able to read or write. That sounds like a dyslexia or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, but it's some type of learning disability. 50 years old, can't read or write. So they want you to do the captures. The captures want the captives or victims to do everything they tell them to do. Okay. And as a matter of fact, R. Kelly called himself in one of his songs, and he had a lot of symbolism in his songs that really was telling what was going on, that people really, they were listening to the beat. They weren't listening to the lyrics. But the Pied Piper in folk tales, he had his flute and he lured little children, away from their parents. And that's the Pied Piper aspect of it. So he lured young girls away from their parents. He went to talent searches, high schools, back stage, like Joycelyn's brother, your girl we'll talk about later on. Joycelyn, until he finally got to her. And they know how to, get the right girls, and we'll talk about that later on. But he wanted total obedience and sex on demand. And anytime he had sex, he liked to videotape it and show it to his friends and close ones. And it's been said that there have been six girls. 3 girls are holed up in his hometown of Chicago, and 6 other girls are in his recording place of Atlanta. So he has 6 girls in those places. Okay, so we're going to talk about what the leader is. Leaders like R. Kelly, powerful, charismatic, manipulative. His brother kept saying manipulative. He said manipulative, I don't know how many times. And they use brainwashing techniques to keep their captives under control. And we're going to talk about 2 of the techniques in a few. Okay, R. Kelly told the women when to dress, and he even had them wear, I'm going to call the R. Kelly burqa. He made them wear jogging suits when they went out, so nobody could see their bodies. And if, say, a young man or so at McDonald's would have would flirt with her or something like that, or somewhere outside would flirt with her, he would punish her. He punished by emotionally, sexually, and physically. It was a standard practice. And he also told them when to eat, I said when to dress, Kelly Burke, when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when to bathe, when they could go out, just every aspect of their life. He had total control. So, and he also engaged in deviant sexual acts, such as urinating on the face of the girl and in her mouth. That's the case he got. He got out of on a technicality in 2005. He also liked to defecate on the girl's stomach. You can't get more Freudian than that. Phallic and anal. Okay. And in a way, he reminds me of Charles Manson, remember, from the 60s. In that his girls are killed. He's a predator like Manson, but he's not a killer. Okay? He's a predator, but not a killer. He didn't program the girls to kill with LSD and all kind of drugs. So that's a good thing about him, I guess you could say. Okay. Furthermore, he confiscates their telephones and gives them pre-programmed telephones where they could talk to him and people that he, approves. And also he limits their contact with their families, and that's traditional cult there, so. And we're going to talk about a psychological technique that's used on the girls called gaslighting. And this is from a movie from the 1940s with Ingrid Bergman, where her husband would keep her off balance, make her think she's crazy, just play with her mind. So he does that. And gaslighting, a clear case, is when they showed Jocelyn on TV and she was just, oh, yes, I like it here. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't know why my parents are messing up my life. She was like that. Now, when the interviewers start asking more probing questions like other girls, could they do what they want to do? Could they go where they want to go? Just probing questions. Somebody was coaching her, and she said, I can't answer him. I can't answer him. I can't, just like that. I can't answer him. I can't answer him. So she became frustrated and I'm not frustrated and discombobulated. So basically gaslighting can cause damage to the victims' trust in themselves and their experience in the reality. And one of the girls were also on the tour bus. She R. Kelly locked her on the tour bus for 3 days away from everybody. And you can imagine the gaslighting and everything and how she was being, how she must have felt, Okay, so the other one is the Stockholm Syndrome, and it has to do with the bank. Joyce's parent, her dad mentioned that, so he obviously was reading about it or something. Because most people don't know about the Stockholm Syndrome. Okay, so basically it was about a bank robbery that happened in the early 70s that the the bank robbers, the captives. They developed a I don't know if it's a crush or whatever on the bank robber, and they were able to okay, yeah, they developed such a crush that they couldn't, even when the police came, they wouldn't press charges. They raised money for them and everything. And also, it could be the battered woman syndrome. That's another situation that has to do with, it is a type of Stockholm syndrome, and everybody knows about the battered wife syndrome. The husband beats the wife. She develops for devotion to him, and when the police comes, she won't press charges. So Stockholm syndrome is like that. Okay, and the other one is the Patty Hirsch. She was the granddaughter of William Randolph Hirsch, and she was kidnapped by the Symbolism Liberation Army, and she was forced to. They kept her in a closet at different places, gaslighting her. And she was able to, they made her Tanya. Tanya was the girl who did the bank robbing. So the bank robbing is, the bank robbing was Tanya. So they tried to get her, when they caught her, use Effie Bailey, Stockholm syndrome, but that wouldn't hurt. So they commuted her system. They commuted her, her sentence, and Bill Clinton, he pardoned her. Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is the immaturity of the girls, the frontal lobe syndrome. That's the part of your brain, that's the personality. We call it the control panel. It handles emotional expression, judgment, decision-making, language, and sexual behavior. And the girls, obviously, usually by the age of 21, your brain is fully functioning, but these girls' brains are not. They had the additional baggage of being starstruck, of being told that he was going to make them a star, in addition to just be gullible from a psychological viewpoint, and their brains not being developed, So like versus like, his brain wasn't developed because he was a 50-year-old working as a 30-year-old. As a 15-year-old, and they were working as teenagers, So that aspect of their brain, it doesn't develop in everybody, and different situations can cause different triggers to happen. Okay, and I'm finished. I'm Jennifer McCrae, and you can contact my Facebook or my email, JTMcCrae, MCCRAY @BellSouth, JTMcCrae, MCCRAY @BellSouth.net. Thank you.